Was it the rapist's warning that kept you from calling the police, Amy?
No. This part I can't blame on him. Well, I guess what I did was to think up my own version of what would happen if I told them.
Okay, Amy, can you tell us something about your previous sexual experiences? I mean, are you used to having sex with a lot of different people?
No.
No? Okay. Now, Amy...
You know, having to repeat over and over again what he did, how he did it. Did I enjoy it? Like they were getting some kind of thrill out of hearing it. I was also afraid they wouldn't believe me. Try to blame me, as if I had really asked for it.
Okay, Amy, listen, you mean to tell us that you really didn't want it to happen?
That street is one of the busiest streets in town. One scream out of you, Amy, would have brought about 100 people right down on top of him.
Are you used to having sexual experiences with a lot of different people?
But you didn't say anything, didn't you? You didn't scream, you didn't yell.
Oh, come on, Amy, tell us the truth.
Pretty romantic back there, wasn't it?
You didn't want him to do it?
All the shrubs, plants, a nice little pond, and you two just got it on, didn't you, Amy?
Come on, Amy, answer the question.
I couldn't go through it. All I cared about was getting that man's memory off me. I thought if I could just get clean enough, I'd be able to erase the rest of it. Silence seemed the least painful thing to do. Okay, so it happened, but I'd come through it, and now I'd just learn to live with it. I got rid of everything that reminded me of him. My feelings, though, weren't quite as simple to take care of. For a while, the days and nights seemed to drift together. Besides the emotional pain, there was also an emptiness. It was the same when he was assaulting me. The whole thing had been so impersonal. The real Amy wasn't there. She wasn't wanted or needed. Only her shell. My rape became my obsession. Nothing else mattered. I just had to let it wear itself out. Then I'd get started on being a person again. I did manage to call into work and make an excuse for having to stay out. I was sure they knew the real reason from what I was telling them. They didn't, of course, but a lot of funny things play around in your head when you have this kind of problem. You think that somehow everybody knows about you, so you shut them out. You avoid. You make yourself safe from their questions.
But the time had to come when you could no longer avoid the rest of the world.
Yes, I had to go back to work, or else there surely would have been questions. By then, my outside bruises were healed, and I hoped the rest of it would also go away. But it's not that easy to forget. Neither is the man who's responsible. I kept thinking about him. He was out there, somewhere. I had no idea what he looked like. He'd worn a mask over his face. So every man now became that man.
Excuse me. Anything wrong, miss?
No. Nothing's wrong. What would you like?
I only wanted to find out about your round-trip excursion to Hawaii.
It was as if I couldn't get away from him. He was everywhere.